trying to say before my last video cut out on me was that this can be used for any business model. So it doesn't necessarily just have to be for your staffing business, although today is going to be pretty specific to your staffing business. I want you to know that you can utilize this within any model, okay, within any business model. And so LinkedIn introduction. Da 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 da. This is our LinkedIn. This is my main LinkedIn page. Okay, Larry. I love Larry Cooper. This is my main LinkedIn page, and the LinkedIn functions very similarly to, I guess you could say, Facebook. It has this feed, or Instagram. It has a feed where you can go in and look at things that people have posted. Your feed is going to be based on your network. The way LinkedIn works is it's a network that is, how do I want to say it? It's based upon Kevin Bacon's 5 degrees of separation. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but let's go Kevin Bacon. 5 degrees of separation. And so it's 6 degrees of separation. That's what it's called. And so, but LinkedIn only does 3 degrees of separation. So the image, I'll let you see some of the images and how they have it set up so that you can see how it works. 6 degrees of separation, Kevin Bacon. Basically, these are all the people that are within a certain, radius. Oh, I got my ads on, whatever, of Kevin Bacon, right? Like how they're connected to him. But he actually has a video that explains it. And he kind of goes through it. So I'm going to share this with you. It's very short. Give me 1 second. But this isn't the favorite one that I have. No, so yeah, it's one in particular that he does, that he even has like Miss Piggy in it. I know you're probably like, whatever, D, but he has Miss Piggy in it, and it basically he goes through all of these people that, and he plays himself, right? Also in his movies. So plays a game. Okay, I think this is it right here. Haha. Okay, so I'm gonna turn
This feed and going to do a little quiz about, I guess it's about me. It's the law that states that anyone in Hollywood can be linked to Kevin Bacon in 6 steps or less. Although turns out that so many famous actors are a mere 2 degrees of separation. In honor of Kevin's new horror movie, You Should Have Left, we're putting him to the test to see if he knows he's connected to his fellow horror movie actors. This sounds really, really hard. Each question links Kevin Bacon to another horror movie star, and it's up to you to figure out if he starred in a movie with that actor or which of his former co-stars starred in a movie with that actor. So let's see. Which of these former Kevin Bacon co-stars starred in a movie with Midsommar's Florence Pugh, Meryl Streep, or Viola Davis, or Kevin Bacon himself? I think it's Meryl Streep. Correct. Kevin Bacon starred.
So the idea is, I'm Kevin Bacon. These people right here are 1 degree separation from me because they work with me in a movie per se. But these people are a 2nd-degree connection to me because they know this person who worked in a movie with me. But these people are a 3rd-degree connection because they know these people who worked in a movie with me, who worked, and it goes like this. So he does 6 degrees of separation. He feels like in 6 ways, in 6 degrees of separations, everyone in Hollywood is connected to him in some way, form, or fashion, which I find to be very interesting. And he proves it over and over again. Well, the guy, I guess, who came up with LinkedIn has the same concept. The only difference is that LinkedIn is 3 degrees of separation versus 6 degrees of separation. And so your 1st-degree connection, so everything is based on like connections. And so we're going to start with my profile. And if you notice, the first thing you see, one of the first things you see is 500 plus connections. So LinkedIn never tells the population how many connections per se you have on that place right there. It just literally says 500 connections. Okay, so like now I'm on Reagan Whitlock's. You go to hers and you can start seeing, but it's not going to show me exactly like accounts and just different things like that. Now I have Sales Navigator, so account may show up, but essentially all I can see, because she has it public, that these are my first level connections that I share with her. I can also see our second level connections that we share, and I can also see our third level connections that we share. So I'm just giving you perspective. But something is very important for you to know is that you absolutely want to get your connections up so that it shows that you have 500 connections at least. On LinkedIn, the culture is that for you to be networked, especially if you are in the recruiting and staffing space, if you are to be networked, you have to have more than 500 connections. So I have 500 connections. I have 32,000 followers. And I don't know what my network is, but we're about to find out in a second. How do you know what your network is? You just go to the top of your LinkedIn profile and you'll see your connections: 29,939 connections. I'm in 113 groups, 91 events, 292 pages, 6 newsletters. And then I have 187 invitations, which I should probably go through. It would be very important. And then they give me a list of people they feel like I might want to know and that I may want to connect with. When you are setting up your LinkedIn profile, the thing that you want to remember is that once you get your profile set up and you get it set up appropriately, that you want to go in and make as many LinkedIn connections as possible. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a couple of minutes, but I want to still go through kind of like the idea, the setup, and different things like that. Before we go through the setup, I just want to explain a few things to you so that you know what's important when you're setting up this profile. This is going to be one of the most important technology slash website slash purchases that you're going to make in your business, because it's how you're going to connect with, at the bare minimum, your hiring managers, if not your candidates. And it allows you to do it and allows the whole industry to see who you are all in one place. This is where the professional world goes. Okay. So I told you about the connections. I told you about the followers. I even showed you that you can click on a person's connections and their followers and see who they're all in that list. And a lot of staffing agencies, they turn this off because recruiters are very assertive and they're looking for talent. So one recruiter will see that that person is a great recruiter, and then they will go and look at their connections and try to recruit those connections from them. So in one way, you want to be kind of, secretive about your network, and another way maybe not so much so, because the world is open to everyone and everything. Neither way, 500 plus connections is what you want your profile to say when you're starting out. And yes, 32,000 followers. I've been here for a very long time. We're going to talk about this opening right here. I don't want you to make any edits on your computer when you're editing this. You want to do this on your phone because you get more space. On the desktop, not so much space, but that's the only thing that you're going to edit from the phone. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm on my profile. I want to show you that there's a public profile URL. You should be very mindful about this URL. It represents you. It's just like your Facebook URL or your whatever URL. My URL is D Williams GA, and I feel like I'm a prisoner to that URL. I can't change it. Why? Because it's on everything, and it's been on everything since like 2008. Right. And so, because when I first started, I didn't really understand the value of the URL. So I just used D Williams, Georgia. Right. So people would know it'd be me in Georgia, but that's not my real URL. My real URL is your D Williams. Okay. So now I've got this one platform where I've been on for a long time, and I'm using an URL that doesn't correlate with my brand. So that's why I'm going to tell you that you really want to take a look at your public URL. And just so you know how I got there, I just went to me and view profile just so I can see exactly what my profile looks like, because it's going to open up the edit buttons for me to edit things as I want to, anyway. So you're going to go to this edit button right here. That's one of the first things you're going to want to do. And then in the very top right here, this is your LinkedIn. It's always going to be linkedin.com/IN. And then you want to put your name. And I try not to put hyphens, just like make it one word, make it very easy or whatever it is. Not your company's name, though, okay? Not your company's name, because that's going to be totally separate. It's going to have its own URL. Let me make that very clear. Do not make this your company profile. This is your personal one. This is how people recognize you as the CEO of your company, thought leader in the industry. However, this is your personal profile, your professional personal profile. So you want it to be your name. If you're a nurse, you might want to put BSN behind it, or however you are presenting yourself as a personal brand. I am D Williams GA here. I want to be your D Williams, but I can't change it too long. But here I'm D Williams GA. That's what people have known me as for a very long time. And that's what my URL is. No hyphens or anything like that. If you have a common name, you might have to hyphen, but just think about whatever this URL is, it's going to be the one that represents you across all platforms. So you might want to go to some of the different platforms and make sure that the URL you're creating here is going to be very similar to the other platforms so you can keep everything consistent. These are things you're probably not going to think about, but I want to remind you because it's very, very, very important. Okay. Now, one more thing I want to tell you. So, like, you can edit the contents of your profile, which we'll do in a second. So, my profile's public visibility is on, which means my name, number of connections, number of followers, region is public to everyone. I can define what I don't want to show and what I do want to show. I don't care. I show everything. I have nothing to hide. So, but you can define, how you want to do that. You can also create a badge so you can put on your website so people can get to your profile much easier. You can put it in different things like your books, your ebooks, just different things like that. So you could actually go in and create a badge. We're not going to do that right now, but I just want to give you a heads up that you can do that as well. Okay. So I'm going to go back. I just wanted to show you this is where you go in and edit your custom URL. Do that now. It just takes a couple of seconds, and you want to just go ahead and claim your URL. Okay. So once you finish claiming your URL, I'm excited for you. You're in a good space. First of all, I like this video. I'm working really hard. I like this video. Okay. Once you go in and you get your URL together, I feel like you're in a good space. Now you want to come in and start looking at your profile. If you're in our program, we have created things for you. So, like our legacy clients, we do a photo shoot with them and get professional LinkedIn pictures. If not, just go behind a white wall in your house, put a light in front of you, get your face, beat up, whatever, look nice. You only got to really be dressed from the top up and take a close up picture. Don't take a picture that's far away. LinkedIn doesn't do well. They want to see your face, right? So they can associate your face. Plus, if somebody wants to do an article or anything like that, they're probably going to use this photo. They're going to use the photo that they see on LinkedIn. So you got to be very careful about which photo that you're putting on there. So like I might go in there and say I might want to change this photo, to be honest with you, because it's like my face is cut off and my finger is there. So that's why you got to be very careful about, what photo that you want to use. So my makeup artist did this photo. If I change this photo, he is going to be in his feelings. He's going to be like, you didn't use, so you going to use an AI photo, but come on. I mean, why not use an AI photo? Let's see what we got in the AI photo realm. Hold on. Let's do columns. Let's do these thumbnails. Let's see if I can find a thumbnail that I like. I have one that I love, and but I used it for my cover of my soundtrack for my artist, because so that's my favorite photo right there. Like I love that photo. And I've been working out every day to look just like it. Not joking. Dead ass. Like love, love, love that photo. Hold on. Ooh, I love this purple, this yellow one. Let's see if I can get this on here. Oh, I love. Okay. So I'm gonna use that one, save photo, and I should probably bring it a little bit closer to my face, just a little bit. I just kind of was fussing at you about that, right? So let's go in and edit and let's zoom it in a little bit more and bring it down because LinkedIn wants to see, yeah, like that. Like it should look like literally like that. We're just a little bit, let me go back. Let me see. Why is it? Okay. Where you can see like almost the whole face, right? Um, I could even open her up a little bit. See how I go hard? But just like that. Okay. So save photo. Pretty cool. I like that picture. It's very beautiful. And then you want to have a background, right? A personal background. So this background is like I was in Black Enterprise magazine. I was in Entrepreneur magazine. I was, whatever. I just kind of, this is from my personal brand. So this is my personal profile. So I have my background represents that. But this is kind of old. I definitely need a new up to date one. This is from like not even, it's definitely not a 2020 something. It's like 2019. So I definitely need to go and get that more up to date. But now I got my new photo. I'm actually going to refresh my page a little bit here. And I wanted to show up appropriately. Okay, so there I am. And there's my new picture. There's my new picture. Bam, set up. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, so we got that part underway. So now is a couple of other things I want to talk to you about. So right here at the top, you'll see that you have the ability to make some edits. You edit your info. So I'm not gonna have an additional name, but if you have an additional name you go by, you can put that in. First name, last name, D. Williams Auditionaire. You can go ahead and put your pronouns or what have you if that makes you happy, and who you're going to show it to. Like I said with the headline, I wouldn't do the headline here. I would do the headline on your phone. You can start it here, but you get way more characters on your phone. I don't know if that's by design or not, and I hope I'm not doing something that they're going to change, but you can add so much more on there. And for me, I always want to add something that when people see it, they're open to connecting with me. Why do I say that? These are things that people aren't going to normally tell you, but I'm going to tell you now because it's very important for you to understand how other people are seeing you when you come across on LinkedIn. So when I go to my network and I see all the people that want to connect with me, I can see their, like if I go to their profile and I put my mouse over, why is it not doing it? Ugh. Of course, when I'm trying to show something. So like this lady right here, expert in lead generation and outsource. So I kind of already have an idea in my mind, like, okay, why she's looking to connect with me potentially. Right. This person, director of founder at Voice Desk AI. Okay, I actually want to talk to this person. AI voice agents, what have you, commercial director. So whatever you have in your profile, people can actually see that before they even start sending the message to you. So if someone is like me who gets a lot of invitations, think about the CEO, the CFO, the nurse, whoever that you're connecting with, and they're going through trying to decide who they want to connect with and if they're open to connecting with particular people. Like this person right here, I help businesses accelerate their growth by providing various virtual. So I already know she does virtual assistants. If I don't need virtual assistants, I'm probably not going to connect with her. But if I feel like I might need one in the future, I might go ahead and connect with her. But because I can already see what she's representing, it lets me know how soon, how fast, whether I want to, whether I don't want to, whatever the case may be, to connect with people. So when you're going in and you're creating this, if you got to be very strategic about what you're gonna put there. Is what I'm gonna say to you. You want to be extremely strategic about what you put there. You don't want to just throw it out there because especially like saying, oh, I'm a staffing agency, especially when people may not be liking the word staffing. So you might want to talk about more the problem that you're solving. I help hospitals and medical centers reduce or increase patient quality care, or reduce nurse burnout, or like focus on the real problem before you start getting into the fact that you're a staffing agency, because that's the part that they see first, and that's the part that they see the most. Hey, Jillian Banks, how are you? That's the part that they see the most. So that's very, very important. Okay. Then you're gonna put your current title. Okay, CEO, Reskillify, what I do. So I have that on there. Show current company in my intro. They're talking about like up here, I think, and we don't want that. So I don't click on any of that, right? What university I went to, you can add all your education. You can put your where you're located, and then you can actually add your contact info if you want. LinkedIn doesn't provide contact info, but if you provide your contact info, and people will see that, then you can actually do that. So if I was to go in, and this is all my correct contact info, to be honest with you. Oh, we actually changed the number at Staffingpreneurs Academy. So for the first time in hundreds of years, we changed the number. So I would probably go in and update that. And still my birthday, still same day I was born. And just go in and just remove things and add things that that you want, that you don't. I don't even use instant messaging on Skype. So if anybody ever reached out to me on Skype, I would not respond, because I'm not even there. I don't even know Skype is still around. But now I have that. Make sure it doesn't check any buttons that you don't want or what have you, and go from there. Okay. So this is kind of your starting point, and this is how they're going to position you in the whole scheme of things. Okay. This is how they're going to position you. Where you're gonna land at, and how people are gonna see you. I'm definitely gonna change my back cover. But if you're like D, I need to change my back cover, I need a cover on the back end, we will be more than happy to design one for you. If not, you can definitely go to canva.com, and you can just go in and say, like LinkedIn cover. You can literally LinkedIn cover, and there it is right there. And then these are the size of the LinkedIn covers. And then you can go in and create and make yours. You do not need your picture on the cover, because your picture is already on the profile right there. So just imagine your picture being there. What do you want other people to see around that? To me, it would be what I offer, and what it is about my brand, whatever the case may be, what I'm doing in the industry, because people are going to come in, like it might even be something as simple as this, because people are going to come in and they're going to look at your profile to see who you are and what you bring to the table. Like, what's all the fuss about, you know? And so that's where you want to start off. Now they have some other things, like they have this option: are you open to finding a new job, posting a job, finding volunteer opportunities? This is important for you, in my opinion, to ensure that you do this, because like on the back end as an employer, when we purchase LinkedIn recruiter, if someone's looking for a new job, it shows up on the back end and we can see that. Now what's dangerous is if you're working for someone and you say you're looking for a new job, and they got LinkedIn recruiter and they see that you open the door to a new job, that might be a little uncomfortable for you if they approach you about that. But for you, you would be posting a job, because you're coming in as an employer. So, but you don't need to post a job, but that's what you would be saying, that you're open to posting a job, right? And that's where you would go. They're gonna ask you, show recruiters you're open to work. You control who sees this. Yes or no. Share that you're hiring and attract qualified candidates. That's gonna be yes for you. Tell nonprofits that you're interested in getting involved in with your time and skills. I hadn't even thought of that, but maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay, now you did all of that. I want you to click on view my services. You're going to go in and add your services. You want to add your staffing services so that people can find you. If you have pictures, you want to do that. Like I was trying to quit staffing last year, so I was trying not to put nothing on there around staffing, but I have hundreds and thousands of pictures, and I might upload it this year because I'm all in. But you're going to go in and add your services and what you do, and your pricing or contact for pricing, where you're located, so that people can find you, and you can have your clients go in. I might have some of my clients go in and review my stuff, but you can actually go in and do that. That'll give your profile more credibility and more depth, and help people to find you in the way that they need to. And then also you can add additional things to your profile. So, like, we already have education, positions, services, but you might add featured licenses and certifications, projects, course recommendations, publications, patents, honors or rewards, volunteer experience. I should add my patents, test scores, languages, organizations, causes. These are all things to help you become findable, number one. Number two, when employers and candidates are checking you out, this is what they're going to see about you. Number three, if you get any press at all, they're going to 9 times out of 10 come to your LinkedIn profile first, right? So you're going to want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is set up and as professional as possible, and that you have all of these things filled out, okay? You can send a message and profile save. These are all things about your profile, things you can do with your profile after you have the top part set up. All right. Once you get done with the top part section of your profile, I just want to show you a few things. So naturally, they have the analytics section that you can just go in and look at, so you can see. And this is important for you to know, because you're probably thinking, D, nobody knows me. Nobody's looking at my profile, but people actually are looking at your profile. And the less activity you do, the less profile activity you'll get. The more activity you do, the more profile activity you get. So in the last 7 days, I haven't been very active. I actually took off for the holiday, not to necessarily celebrate the holiday, but to take care of myself, right? With and to service me. And so I did not check into the internet. I didn't check into work. I didn't work. I just solely focused on D Williams, right? So nothing has really been happening. And then anybody on my team is probably on vacation. So I went down. But 461 people have viewed my profile in 90 days. I've appeared in search appearance, which means that people are searching for things, and I've shown up in 195 searches over the past week. That's going to be the same thing for your profile. That's why we want to have your profile set up and done appropriately. I have 32 followers. I think I might have lost 0.1% over the last 7 days. And my post impressions, whichever means that, like, all the posts that I've posted, this is how people have been looking at it over the last 7 days. And you can click on any one of those, and they can tell you the performance of your post and what you have going on. So these were my lives. This is my live from this morning. And then, like, some of my shorts and just different things like that. So you can go in and view the analytics. Now, why is this important? So you can actually see how your content is doing, and see your demographics who are looking at you. So senior level people are looking at me, mainly in Atlanta, in regards to the staffing industry. You can't necessarily see the actual person. It's not showing you the actual people, but you can actually see, a lot about your stats. So you can go in and look at all of those things. And I think that's very, very important. So I'm going to go back, and that's your analytics. Next, I want to talk about the About Us page. Okay. So, About Us section. Do you see how comprehensive my About Us section is? Don't be scared. Do you see how comprehensive this is? Very, very, very important. This tells that person about you. So I like to start off with me giving a message directly to the person who's there to learn about me. And then I cut it off and then give, like, the professional message, because I'm on people's podcasts and, whatever, radio shows and just different like that, magazines. And they're always trying to figure out, like, what's her bio. And this is why I said your LinkedIn profile is your professional bio. So I haven't updated my bio. My LinkedIn advisor, which is Angela Pitter, shout out to Angela. She always tells me that you should update your picture like every quarter. You should update your profile like every quarter, to keep yourself relevant, to keep you in the searches. So it's definitely time for me to update my profile. I just did my picture today. And your About Us section, again, how mine, I'm just going to read it out loud just to give you some perspective. So I just start off with who I am. I'm D. Williams Audationaire. and I'm on a mission. I am a mission-driven, multi-hyphenate CEO. I'm an author, speaker, podcast host, and advisor, and I help the slept-on, underrated, and underestimated champions of the world become CEOs of their own careers, companies, and masters of their lives. I'm also an entrepreneur who enjoys building businesses and brands from the ground up. I enjoy the thrill of it, and I'm not afraid to take calculated risks and full responsibility for all aspects of a business venture. I'm cool with failing and getting back up. These lessons make me better every time I get back up. I genuinely and truly enjoy solving problems that take businesses from 0 to 1 and beyond. Now let's connect and shake things up in the world in a positive way. So those are my words, not AI. You can tell probably. And I'm just giving a little bit of information about myself. While I'm not open to a new job right now or anything like that, you never know. Maybe Google may come and say, D, I give you $500,000 a year to go and, build out our AI systems. D would be hired, okay? And so I keep my profile up to date, but that's more to show the personable side of me, and to connect with them in that way, and to just let them know what I'm passionate about. I'm definitely going to update that, and I'll walk you through how you can go in, because a lot of people get so frustrated. Oh my God, D, how am I going to do this? I'm not a great writer. We're going to do it in a minute. Very simple, done in a couple of minutes, especially if you're using chat on a normal basis. So, more about D. With more than 20 years of recruiting and staffing experience, and I really probably need to say 25, but I don't want to date myself because I feel like I'm aging backwards, like Benjamin Buttons. And so, like, people only really know how old I am when I wear my stuff that says like 77, because I love the year I was born, but they be looking at me like 77. So yeah, but more than 20 years of recruiting and staffing experience, D has placed hundreds of people as a recruiter for companies such as, this is my regular bio. These are true things. Over the years I've placed, she's broken placement records for a number of staffing agencies. D is currently a subject matter expert and advisor for the recruitment and staffing industry, founder of Identifies Consulting. I coined the term staffingpreneur, founded Staffingpreneurs Academy. So this is not even up to date. This doesn't have anything about like me coining Auditionaire, like unleash your ideas, all of that stuff. So it's definitely time for me to update this. But this, if I'm showing up as D Williams, the staffing expert, this is the perfect bio for D. But D Williams ain't showing up as that right now because she's evolved. So I'm going to show you just how simple it is for you to change your profile. And you can do that, like I said, in a matter of seconds. So the first thing I would do is I would definitely use Chat GPT for this. And the reason that I would use Chat GPT for this is because you already have started building an intimate relationship with Chat, and Chat already knows you. Okay. And so that's the first thing that I would think about. Now, second thing you got to think about is like what you want to share, what you actually want to share. So for me, in the beginning, I just wanted to share information about me and what I'm doing and what I'm passionate about and different things like that. So I'm going to start off by just taking this and put it in chat. I'm going to say, hey, chat. We are now. I did not use. I'm not using an agent for this. I have 1,000 agents on the left hand side, right? My business expert, DD Copilot, viral video strategist, idea generate, insight architect. I've got so many. I'm not doing that right here. I even have a human insight advisor. I'm just literally right now, I want to show you very quickly so you're not intimidated how you can go in and do this. So, hey, chat, we are now working on building out. Ooh, my spelling is crazy today. It's because I'm not looking at the screen, looking at the keys. My LinkedIn profile. And this is what I have in the first section of actually I want to of the about section, but I'm curious. All right, before I do that, before I give it to you, how would you describe how would you describe me? via the about um section. How would you describe me via the on LinkedIn? I just want to see what he's going to say first, just out of curiosity in real life. Oh, okay. Oh Lord, he's giving my whole personal story on LinkedIn. He done already took it way too far. So I can already tell I'm not using this, but it's very interesting to see what he would say. I'm not just a coach or a consultant. I'm a tech founder of Force and Nature in Business. I build empires. That's so cute, from building course platforms. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. We're not using that. Okay, thank you. We are not using that. But it was cute though. Okay. Um, this is what I have so far. This is the top portion. Now, yours, he might, if you do the same thing and say, I'm just curious, and he comes back with everything all right, like go with it. For me, that was way too personal on my business profile. That's not the first thing I want people to know about me, because I bring so much more to the table intellectually. And this is, and from a business perspective. Also, I feel like I can present a better version of my personality in that first paragraph. I should be writing this myself, but I just kind of wanted to show you all how to do this. It's the top portion, and I will share the bottom in a second. This, oh shoot. Okay. Share, oh shoot. The bottom in a second. I want this to be more personable, before we start talking about my background. Now, if you have a copy of your resume, like now would be a great time to add it into chat so the chat can get your background. I'm not going to do my resume in that way just yet, because I have an idea of exactly how I want to present myself. But I just want to see what he's going to say if I want to change. He said, "Let's be real. You didn't land on my profile by accident. I already like how this has started. You're here because something in you is building an idea, a shift, a vision that won't sit still. Maybe you've been underestimated, or maybe you're sitting on 100 ideas and can't pick one, or maybe you're finally done playing small. Me too. I lived through fire, built from nothing, and learned to turn pain into purpose and purpose into profit. But that's not where it starts. This starts with you and what you're ready to unleash. So if you're looking for someone who gets what it means to fight for your future, has turned world vision into real world results, and can help you do the same, then keep reading. We might be aligned." So I like that. I'm gonna use it just in the spirit of things, but it's gonna be too long. I can tell you that. I already know that. Because they only give you a little bit of down here. And so I've got to be able to fit all of those other things into that down here part. So before I just like remove things, for me, I got to copy and paste. See, you only get 2,600 characters. So, because I may want to come back to this again. So I'm going to take this, my whole thing right here, copy, and I'm going to add it someplace else, actually. Where's my, I don't even know where I want to add it. I got all of these screens up. I'm like, I'm gonna just add it on this sheet right here. New doc. Okay. So that's my old profile. Okay. So now I can go in and I can get rid of this part, because I already know that I want to do this. Audacious D Williams, auditioning here. I still like that. And I'm gonna go there. And so let's put that up there. Let's drive this all the way to the top. I've already used a lot. So I'm gonna kind of keep that. I do like it there a little bit. Turn vision into results. We might just be aligned and then just put my name, D. Williams Audationaire there, right? And just end it off like that. Okay, cool. And so now I have this other section that's below that talks about my background. And I don't want to talk about that anymore, to be honest with you. Okay. So this is the top part. They're like, what? This is the top part. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Okay. That was the top part. Now, the bottom is as follows. So I'm going to paste the bottom. I want to reference my staffing experience, but I really want to focus on what we created around systems design thinking and how my skills my skills represent that. Okay. So, 'cause I want to make sure like I have my AI stuff in there, what have you. So I'm gonna come back and see what he says. And I'm just gonna tell you that you want to spend a little bit of time. You don't have to take a lot of time, but you definitely want to spend a little bit of time on on how you're showing up. This is not to be the description of your company. This is about you. You. Yes. And all of my Baltimore accent, this is about YOU and what you bring to the table, right? Um, and so how we want so I just want to see what he said. So with 20 years of experience in recruiting and staffing, I placed hundreds of persons across companies and enough of a start. Um, but my deeper gift, I design systems, human systems, business systems, monetization, ecosystems, and teach others to do the same. Whether I'm mapping out a client acquisition funnel, designing an AI-powered learning path, or architecting a multi-tier staffing business model, my work is rooted in systems design thinking, seeing the bigger picture and anticipating future needs and aligning every piece to build empires that scale with purpose. So I do like this, but everything like it is like that's Reskillify, that's staffing. I don't know. I'm gonna probably come back there and edit this a lot, but just as a first term, what have you. Okay, fine. So um I'm thinking out loud. Y'all can't hear me though. And I don't want to talk about identify as consulting. We can talk about Reskillify Group. They can see all of that in the bottom. Um, Unleash your ideas. We can talk about whatever else. I got so much shit going on, to be honest with you. My books, we could talk about my videos, we can talk about everything. I just don't want etc. I just do that like there. And let's just see. So I actually really liked all the way up to here. So with 20 years of experience in recruiting and staffing, so that's this, but that's not my deeper gift. I mean, that is a gift. I design systems, human systems. And Nelly just said that. Shout out to Nelly. I know she's watching or watching the replay, whether I'm mapping out a client acquisition funnel, designing an AI-powered learning path, or architecting a multi-tier staffing business model. My work is rooted in systems. Okay. So I'm gonna keep that and I'm going to go down here and I'm gonna paste. So that's already I'm updating that. And then I'm gonna go in and see what else these other says. Instead of a Staffingpreneurs Academy. I just want to go back in. Um, okay. I create letters of power to upset us. Hey, then came Unleash Your Ideas, which is not in order. Bring with creators or founders, visionaries, ideas within the boot camps, the blueprints. Yep, I coin audition is over. Everything she's doing is not thinking, but she didn't mention my systems design thinking, but that's okay because I can do all of that anymore later on. Scratch the surface in my core. I'm an architect of frameworks. That I like the way I originally started, and I like this. Okay, bam. So we'll put this on the bottom and see if it's too much space. Yes. Um, so network was found. So we can actually get rid of that. There we go. And so it still says I exceeded probably by 99 words. Um, and I'm gonna just go ahead and put that right there, put that together. Let's go up one more. This is where it gets hard because you don't have enough space. Um, it was 10 so 11. Okay. I don't feel like I'm gonna just get rid of that for now because that's already gonna be in my thing. Okay, so let's go in and say now you can go in and add skills. So, and it's gonna give you things. So, based on my profile, problem solving, yes. Negotiating, yes. Recruiting, yes. Startup venture, sure. What is it? Business systems design, yes. So you can add a skill, systems design, right there, right? So you can go in and add, other things in there. And then you've reached your maximum, so you can say save, and then you can put them in order, which I did not put them in order, but you can put them in order. And so now this has updated my profile just a little bit more. So they say my top skills are problem solving, negotiating, recruiting, startup. I'm going to actually change all of that. Again, I feel like, but here's my about us profile, see more. And that's what this is. Let's be real. You didn't land on my profile. We already read this. Me too. I've lived through the fire. Blah, 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 blah. It turned wild. I don't know if I'm going to keep that, but it sounded cool in the beginning. Then a little bit more about me. It tells about my skills, my deeper gifts, design systems, da 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 da, everything I teach. Then they can see your problem skills. Now you want to get into your services, and this is what I was talking about last or earlier today, where you got to know your services. But now you're going to get it and show all your services that you offer with your setup with your business. And you want to list as many services as you can because there are companies out there that are specifically looking for your services, and LinkedIn has it set up to where you can be found a lot easier. So think of this as like free marketing for your business, right? Free marketing. So you're going to do your services, and then if you have any featured anything you want to add on there as a feature, like your landing page to your lead magnet. If you wrote a blog article that you felt like was good, then you want to do all of that. I hope my links are still working, but my links should take them to different articles of where this is where I was. You can see my link right there. I don't know if she's still there or not. But this is where she was, the audacity of 107 ways. So I don't know if they done lost me, they done got rid of me. Oh my gosh, my feelings are so hurt. Let's go look and see incognito. Yeah, it's just a blank page. So my article is down. That sucks. So I can reach out to them. But those are like my articles. So they can go in. At least there was. This was another article. Let's see if they done took this one down. It's been years though. That should still be there. There she is right there. This that tell you how old that is. I'm still wearing wigs. And y'all know I ain't wore a wig in a long time. um, and then, and then whatever else I wanted to put in there. I've been in a lot of different things. So I typically like disrupt HR, like just different things I've been in. You go in and you just featured items so people can know exactly who you are and what you're about. And then this pretty much shows like all of the activity that you all have doing. So like this is the one I tried to do earlier, it didn't work so well. This was my morning class this morning. I like my own stuff all the time, what you want to do. You can show all your posts and different things like that. You can go and create a new post. You can go in and look at the events and your images and your videos and your comments and your posts and all of that stuff. So that's nothing you really, that's just the work that you're going to do to brand yourself. And then this is where the real nitty gritty, comes in. And this is where you're going to go in and you're going to add your resume. And in adding your resume, the first thing that you want to focus on is the company that you're in right now, the company that you're building. That should be the very first thing that you have on your profile and the date that you started your company. And please don't be lazy if you need to write out, and this should be what's on your sell sheet. But if you need to write out like what it is that your company does and all the different services, then you want to go ahead and add that there. You want to make sure all your keywords are there so you can be found, and you want to add your location, the date, and how long you've been there, because people are going to give you like kudos for your anniversaries and different things like that. Don't be afraid to go in and to put your call to actions on there if it can fit. That's very important. And the way LinkedIn works, if you have more than one product underneath one full company, so like Reskillify Group is the umbrella to Reskillify Creator, Reskillify Learn, Reskillify Me, and so that's the main company. And then you can see that I also did other things, but this shows my product development skills where I actually went and developed the product. But I am going to go in and update my title and talk about systems design because I actually love doing that. Then, of course, I've been with Identifies Consulting for 14 years. Woo! And the CEO, and then I put up Staffingpreneurs Academy. We launched the academy in 2014. We've been in business for 11 years. That I did my podcast, which I don't do as often as I should, but I feel like I'm gonna get that started back up again. And just all the brands that are associated with Identifies Consulting, we lay those brands up under Identifies Consulting. Then I closed the cannabis job board down this year, so I need to definitely update that and say that it's closed. We're not doing that anymore. I'm not on that project. I still have Individual Audacity Publishing, where we publish our books, music, all of those different things. I built a mobile app. So this basically shows, this is 18 experiences more. So it basically shows my background, like where I started, really from kind of like my one of my first jobs, if you go back, because all of these last things are the last 10 years of my entrepreneurship, but I hardly even look back. But this goes back to me and my recruiting, and just all of the things that I did back in the day, and then leading up to even my talk shows. I was on the radio. A lot of people don't know that. It's so funny. People say, "D, I love your voice. You should be on the radio." And I was like, "Been there, done that." I already had my own radio show. It was dope. Everybody loved it. It was pretty cool. I did it for about 2 years. So, but yeah, so you want to go in and just add all of the stuff on there. And this is what people are going to see about you, and they're going to actually sit there and go through your profile. So you want to actually make sure things are written appropriately. You can use AI to help you, as I showed you today, and just list everything that you possibly can under your profile. You want to be found. I mean, that's the reality. You want to be found. And so the more that you have on there, the more you open yourself up to being found. And then don't forget to add your education. Went to University of Maryland. My skills, system design. That's what I really want my core skill to be. But I build systems. You already know I'm 97 skills. Now, I'm not a fan of this section, to be honest with you. People like endorse you. People endorse you that don't even know you. So I'm not really into the endorse thing or whatever. And I don't really endorse anybody else because people are just doing it just to be doing it. But anything that you have done, you can go in and add like separate skills. And so as things become like, as people are searching for things, they'll look for people who do what you do. So like, I'm not afraid of taking calculated risks. I do creative ideation. I do product ideation. I'm a big problem solver. Go to market strategy. I can develop an MVP, concept of development, generative AI, online marketplaces. So like all of these things are like my specialty, things that I love. I don't even think it has anything in here about my branding. It's like I love building brands. Like literally, I love building brands. I can see them with my eyes closed. Yeah, so and you can just add more P&L, business units, training and delivery, contract, staff augmentation, ATS. I help people build their applicant tracking systems, training staff, consulting. So all of that stuff is in there. I'm doing that right now. LinkedIn training and configuration. I'm a published author. So you just want, and now some of these I don't think I added. I think LinkedIn added for me. And then some of them I added, but you want to go in and you definitely want to add your skills so that you can be found with ease. Okay. And then recommendations. So you want to go in and you want to get as many recommendations as possible. You can, oh, I have pending recommendations. I didn't even know I had pending. I haven't even looked at this. So I have pending. Would you write me a recommendation, please? So this is somebody asking. Now I don't know who this is. So no, I'm not going to write them a recommendation. This is my client. So yes, I would write her a recommendation. I did not do it. She asked me and I didn't do it. I don't be looking. Latasha asked me to write a recommendation. I will. Baljashi, definitely. I will. I know all of those people. This is one of my interns. I know her. So some of these, yes. Some of these people, heck no, because I don't know who they are, right? And so people will just say, "Hey, can you send me a recommendation?" And even though you don't know them, so that's why you have to be very careful about the recommendations that you do. I only do people that I know, so you can see. Given these are all people I know, that I've worked with, that I've built a resume for, that I've recruited for, that have been my client, that have been my colleague, whatever the case may be. A lot of my staffingpreneurs are here. I ain't gonna lie though. And this, oh, okay. I was about to say that don't look like Judy. And this is my mentor who I love. And so yeah. So and then these are all the ones that I've received that people have given me. And it's good. So you, if I were you, I would take this seriously. And I'll do any recommendations for my staffingpreneurs. So if you just ask, I will oblige. So you don't have to wonder, will do one for me? Yes, we can do one for each other because I always like to have more. Back in the day, we were really serious about these. Now, I don't know how serious people are, but you can turn the recommendations off and on if you don't like them or what have you. I would say go in and do your recommendations and ask people for recommendations, and you can start with D. Williams. So I received 23 ish. This should be way more, but of course, I do my stuff on my website. Any publications you've written, I've written a book. I have four more books that are pending just for me to touch them and make a final. Any type of podcast you on, anything you want to add all of those things on there because again, this is how people see you as a thought leader in the industry. When you start creating your digital assets, when you start creating your live assets, your physical assets, you want to add those things here and send people to those things so that again you can start creating your thought leadership around the work that you do. I'm not bilingual. I just speak English in this moment with, an ebonic version of every other language there is, I'm sure. Any organizations I was a part of, HR.com, I haven't been working with them lately, but working with them, we were doing a lot of meetups. I haven't done that. So I need to end these because I'm not with those organizations. I'm kind of doing other things now, but those are things you want to go in and update any organizations you're a part of. And then you can go in and do your interests and your groups and different things like that. That's just more for people to know about you, and then whatever causes you're a part of. And then you can add that. And then your profile is pretty much set up. Now, notice this was just your personal profile. This is not your business profile. That's where we're going to next. Da, 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 da. I said it. So, after you do that and you have everything set up on there, okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to actually go to for business, and you're going to go all the way down to the bottom and click create a company page. Bam. Okay. And so you're going to create a company page. You're going to click on the company. So that's the company, and then you're going to add your company's name, the LinkedIn address that you want your company to be, and you want these to be all the same across your platforms. The company's website, the industry, the organization size, the organization type, the logo of the company, the tagline of the company, and then you verify that you're authorized representative of the company. Once you do all of that, then you will get a page, and like this is the Staffingpreneurs Academy page. Okay. So I have our logo. I don't have a background on it. I should probably have all of that stuff, but I don't. But your page will end up looking like this from the back end. You can view it as a member, so you can click on it and view it as a member. So if a member came, they would come here and they would see these things, right? But as this is you, so that's so you can see you're viewing this page as a member, but now you're going to go back and view it as an admin. So then you want to go in, you can go in and add your background. I like to do a custom background, and if you're working with us, you should have a custom background. So this is a weird background for us to have, but I just added it there. You So we didn't add the services to our company page. It's telling you post your jobs here. You can do that, and then you can actually start working on your LinkedIn profile and actually having it, creating movement in your profile. I would say on LinkedIn, company pages are not as exciting or as fluid as your personal profile pages. But if you have somebody working on your social media, I would definitely have them work on your LinkedIn company page as well. Get somewhat of a following on your page, and make some magic happen, because again, when you do like your advertising and stuff like that, it's going to come from your company page, right? So I think identifies, yeah, identifies we have 1,000 followers. So you can see we were way more active with we haven't done anything in a while, but way more active with our page with Identifies Consulting. Then we've got our banner. This is one I should have used, right? People also view these other parts of the business. They'll say how many people connected. They have like some of my staff on there, and then just group, trends and different things like that of how, based on what it knows and how people are engaging with LinkedIn, right? But when you fill out your profile, all of that stuff is here, and then it shows up on here. So I haven't made any posts recently. My jobs probably are not posted on here. No, not yet. And then anybody they feel like is working for the company, and then any insights they have. So 1,000 followers, 2 to 10 employees, training and coaching, so it shows up, right? So you want to have your profile there. Now, notice that my company profile is linkedin.com/company, and then my company's name, which is very different from my LinkedIn profile, my personal. My personal LinkedIn profile is linkedin.com/IN, and then it's D Williams GA. So IN, and then it's D Williams GA. So as you can see, right, you have to have two profiles for LinkedIn. You have to have both your personal profile first, and then after you build your personal profile, you can go in and build your company profile. And then those are the two things that I need you to do on to set your LinkedIn profile up and to set it up appropriately. If you have questions, of course, you can go in and ask, but that's the very first thing I want you to do to set your profile up. Now, after you set your profile, I'm going to just take this a little step further. So, after you set your profile up, you immediately, you want to go to for business and you want to go to groups. And you want to go in and start searching for all the groups that are associated with your niche market and become a part of those groups so that you can open up your network in those groups. So if you're placing CEOs, right? Um, and I just put CEOs. I should just put CEO, not CEOs. And I should just I'm gonna do AI. I don't know why. I just trying it. And then go to groups. So this is a tech leadership founder group where it's 133. Here's another one that's 666K members. So I'm going to join this group. So you can hit join now. If I have too many groups, it's not going to let me join. I'm going to let you know now. And I got a lot of groups. So I'm going to open it up here and I'm going to just see if it did. So join. Will it let me join? Is something went wrong? Try refreshing the page because I might have too many groups, but I would like to join this group. So you would just go in and join your groups that make sense for your niche market so that you can open up your network and become more findable, searchable, and so forth. And you can open up your remember because you have 3 layers of 6 degrees of separate 3 degrees of separation from yourself or from D Williams if you're following me. So these groups will help you to have a second degree separation from you because they're connected to you through your groups. And so it just opens up your network for you to see more profiles, and you want that. You definitely want to do that. I will also mention this is a secret of mine that was shown to me a long time ago. So let me just go back to LinkedIn and under there you should see groups. Just click on groups and it'll show you the groups that have the most amount of people. And I was always told join all the groups that have the most amount of people, like on the first page, because that'll open you up first. So you can see the only one that I'm not a member of is this LinkedIn HR group, but none of my joinings are working right now because I think I'm at the maximum amount of groups you can have. And there are a maximum amount of groups that you can have. So once you follow all the groups that have the most members, and then you go in and start following groups that's specific to your candidate market and your client market, then you can go in and start. Where's that? Groups, which shows your groups. Excuse me. And as you can see right here, it's requested. I've requested to get into all of these groups, but I never got into any of those groups for whatever reason. And so I'm going to just withdraw those because sometimes when you go into these groups, they take forever to accept or not. This one I still want to do. And so now you can see any groups that says owner. I own those groups and manage those groups. So they're pretty big, 35,000. But there's some that I don't manage and I own. So I'm sure if I let myself go from one of these networks, like I'm not an RN, but I like to be a part of the RN network because I work with a lot of RNs. But like cannabis investors, okay, I'm going to leave this group. And then let's see if I can join now. I still can't join. I still got too many. So I got rid of that one. I'm gonna get rid of this one. And I'm gonna get rid of this one. And then I'm gonna refresh and see if now I can join. I'm in my feelings that it won't let me join. It's like, why? There it is. So that was it. I had too many groups. There's a maximum amount of groups that you can have. So I had too many groups, and now I'm in the group, and now I'm a part of this connections. And now while I'm in the group, I can see all the people that are in the group, and I can reach out to them. I can actually go in and type things in to see if I can find them in different ways. A lot of people don't know that, and you can message them for free. So that's it. And then you can also see what's happening in the groups. But look at these lead magnets. This should show you some real stuff right here. A lot of my clients get very lazy. Look at these lead magnets. Look how they have 45 post engagements 2 weeks ago. And that's because they're really putting in the work of showing people things, right? 14 negotiation phases. These are some pretty cool lead magnets that I'm seeing to get people engaged. 24-hour intel. And then, in some instances, people aren't, but you got to go and you got to push it, right? My gosh. Um, Pretty cool. All right. So pretty cool. You can also start your own LinkedIn group, right? You could also start a group the same way that you can join a group, you can create a group, right? If you go in and create, you have your banner, your icon. So you want to have all those things together before you do that. If you're going to make this a part of like your strategy, because like some people are like, well, I'll just create a LinkedIn group. You can do that. It ain't easy to maintain these groups, and these groups don't live on their own until they reach about 300 to 500 members. So you have to nurture the group until you get to that point. But you can go in and add your description if you want it to be public, private, whether you want it to be discoverable, allow members to invite their connections, require posts to be reviewed by admins, all of that, and create your group. And then you're going to go on a LinkedIn and say, join my group, join my group, join my group. I just feel like on LinkedIn, people aren't, it's only certain groups are really active. All the other ones, I just feel like it's just a posting farm. So if you're going to have a group, you just got to be able to do something different with your group that, like maybe other people are not doing in order to show, your greatness and how you're going to bring and engage. It doesn't seem to move like Facebook groups, is what I'm saying. But yeah, you just, add and take them away as you see fit, and kind of go from there. So I join groups that are things that I'm into and so forth. So there you go. So that's really your LinkedIn training. And I hope this was exciting for you, and helping you to get your LinkedIn and everything set up. Once you get all your LinkedIn and stuff like that set up, I would tell you to go and get Sales Navigator, or whether you're recruiting or selling, get Sales Navigator and start playing into that. And maybe in the next video, we'll go over how to set up Sales Navigator appropriately. But getting your LinkedIn personal and your LinkedIn company page, to me, was very, very important. Is something that people seem to have a hard time doing, when they're trying to set their business up. Like getting that LinkedIn set up and everything seems to be very challenging. So I want you to build your personal profile first, make sure it's outstanding. Then you build your company page, and then you continue on building out your social media profiles based on that LinkedIn setup that you have. First Facebook personal, then Facebook page. I think so. What is it like? LinkedIn? I mean, not LinkedIn. Instagram. Instagram has kind of a business page in a way, but you would feed off of your you would create a page for it based on the name that you want it to be. So like, whereas if LinkedIn is shunned upon to use a personal page for a business page, on Instagram you can definitely use, a business profile you can create on Instagram and turn it into a business page. So, but most social networks, you have to have a personal profile first before you are able to create a business profile. And that's very important for you to know. Do you have any questions for me? I don't know if you have any questions for me. Any questions? I expect everybody to have absolutely phenomenal LinkedIn profiles right now. After this training, your LinkedIn profile should be on fire. And I'm looking forward to being able to review anybody's LinkedIn profile that is needed. Go back in and update it. You want to maintain your profile the way you get your oil changed, or the way you go and get your checkups with the doctor. It's the same way you want to do your LinkedIn profile. Don't be late doing it like I am. Like I said, my mentor says you should update it per quarter. and changing the fresh picture, fresh everything. So I really appreciate you allowing me to hang out, allowing me to share my gift with you today. And you might see me go live a little bit more this week before my live event, because I really want to get some of these videos out, and I do better when I'm under pressure than I do like when I pre-record. If I pre-record, it's gonna take me all day. If I know I'm live and other people are watching, it don't take me that long like it did today. And so I may get a couple of these out of the way, so that I can focus on the things that I really want to focus on, which is setup and process with the new academy. And these are just additional things that people can learn how to do, instead of you going to search somewhere else. I'm just showing you how to do it. So, all right, I appreciate you. This was good, sister. Okay, great. I'm glad. I
Yeah,
hope
it
it was
was.
helpful. Okay, great. I like that. I'm glad. That was really my goal, is to make sure that you all know how to set up your LinkedIn profile appropriately. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you have not. Comment below. Was this helpful for you? Do you feel like this was helpful in you setting up your LinkedIn profile for your staffing business and or any other business model that you have? Please share this video with somebody you feel like really needs to see this video. And thank y'all so much. This class is ending, and I see y'all in the next video. Bye.